Hello and welcome back to Band of Blades. We are back at not crappy morale and full of hope that we might reach Skydagger Keep and make a last stand. We just saved a badass heavy that has a new friend.
Dumb friend.
Very dumb friend. That was the last thing that happened. So what we're going to do after we do a round of introduction is to go into our back at camp scene, which I'm looking very much forward to because our lore master is unfortunately saving beers, which means I get the responsibility of doing the back at camp. But first, I am Mikael. This is my channel. You can find me here on Twitter. This is the only show I do for now, but there might actually come some more in like medium future term thing. And yeah, I'll post it on Twitter if that's going to happen. I have with me my awesome crew here again. Want to present yourself and plug something, Matthias?
Hi, yeah. I'm Matthias. I use he and pronouns. And now I want to save the plugs to after the show. Get to gaming. I throw it over to Joel. Who are you? Joel.
Will I? I'm confused.
No, you froze for me for a moment, but yeah, no, you're back.
Okay. Yep. I'm Joelle. I use she, her pronouns. If I'm freezing, then I also will probably save plugs till at the end. Jump in. And toss it to our traveling friend, Jim.
Hey, yeah, I'm Jim Crocker. I am a retailer of role-playing games, which is why I'm here in a hotel room, because I'm at the big Metatopia game design convention in New Jersey in the United States, and I have interrupted my booth setup. This is how much I love this game, that I have kludged together various hardware solutions in order to allow me to transmit from my hotel room. So I'm talking to you over my iPad, but I have my laptop open so that I can have our Roll20 screen up on that. So at some point, if I run out of juice or I got to swap out or something like that, I may drop out for a moment, but I will jump back in. I'm going to make the very best of this as much as I can, and I'll plug what I'm doing along with. I guess I just did plug what I'm doing. I'm at a convention this weekend, so come say hello at Metatopia if you're there.
Cool, awesome. I'm very jealous, Jim. But we'll get back to that as we do plugs on the end. So we are still in Plainsworth, and we have just come back from saving the Kingfisher Knight by I guess by removing the curse that was upon him. And sealing it into the banner of the Black Oak Knights. So we'll see how it's going with them at some point, probably in the future. I think I'm probably going to make a clock on that or something, but we'll see. Today, well, first I'm going to pick back at camp scene. And I think I already eyed one out as... Paul is not here. I thought I should not steal one of the high morale scenes because we are at high morale now, aren't we?
We're at 7.
Yeah. Oh well. Anyway, I wasn't gonna pick one, so that's that's fine, I guess. I think I will. I'm going to choose the scene: a band of refugees stumbles upon your camp and begs for help. Because we haven't seen a lot of civilians yet, and I'm like been dying for the opportunity to make you, make decisions about these kind of things. Put you in a hard spot. I imagine probably that the candidates for player characters in this scene is probably the officers of the Legion. Who of you would you think is most like around and about in the city?
I think we can potentially. This may depend on what we can set up, what we might later do with our actions and stuff like that. So I don't know if would it be the quartermaster securing some last minute supplies for right?
Oh, actually, I kind of have an idea here because last time our secondary mission failed, and we don't quite know what happened. So maybe let's say maybe that this scene is when they come back, and the marshal and the quartermaster is at least surely there. I think maybe the commander can be too, at least arriving.
Did it fail?
No,
yeah,
it didn't
that was
fail.
a weird one.
That was exactly the thing I said last time too. We didn't fail. We succeeded, but we still lost 2 soldiers.
Yeah, I mean that's.
There was we
It's a
succeeded at cost. Yeah.
We didn't crit.
Yeah, for once.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even better. I think so we can maybe combine that a little bit. Let's say that all of the officers that you're playing are there actually. I'm gonna just frame the scene real quick. I think what was it that what kind of supply was it that we got from that? Horses or food? You remember?
Good question. It was Rusted Raging Tempest who was on that mission, right?
Mm-hmm. You want to play Russet?
Sure. And they got a level 1 wound, so
yeah,
nothing too serious, but roughed up a bit and quite stressed.
So what we talked about happening after that mission last time was that there was no undead there. There was just other living people who also heard there were supplies.
You're correct. Yeah, we encountered well, what we would be calling bandits.
Who other might be called starving people.
Yeah, they would call themselves trying to survive.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe they also saw. I think you sent? Did you give us horses? Because it was a supply run, that might be pretty likely.
Yeah, there was horses and there was food, because that's the thing we have, right?
Yeah. Oh, it was food. It wasn't horses.
Food. It was food.
Yeah. But that also, probably, that might have drawn their ire or their greed or their need for survival. To take that from us while we were trying to secure the stash of.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so I'm just gonna. Yeah. Maybe it was like the soldiers who were giving it out. They were like over. There were so many people there, like overmanning them, and kind of like to get all the food that they kind of got. We didn't come back for them because we could have, right? But there was one promotion instead. We chose to sacrifice them.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I think maybe what actually happened was, and maybe this is also why what might have made sense why we were given like additional supplies or additional food for this mission. We were going there to not to recruit, but to basically buy supplies that are important for the Legion for food. And that got out of hand, where like they wanted more than we were willing to give, and that escalated. And maybe like maybe it's hard to tell in the aftermath if one of those peasants struck one of our people, or if one of our people leveled a musket at them, and that shot went off first. Like, my mind is here in that I'm actually thinking about that that Battlestar Galactica episode where they're rationing, right? And it's like a few soldiers versus like this large group of hungry people, and tensions are high, and someone loses their nerves, and yeah.
And we've like stuck around here as well, so
Yeah.
This is like maybe like the people are getting antsy that like this army's been camped outside for so long, eating all their food and like recruiting all their teenagers to join the doomed grinning ravens.
Yeah, I think how this looks is that like when there's people coming with like carts like into the city, automatically like people gathers around the gate because I mean there's not enough food, and when people are coming, maybe they have something, so that's where we're gonna be begging for food.
You know what makes this more tragic? It's that it was the Grinning Ravens, so they're all locals.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they started to recognize, right? That they like, hey, I know you. You used to work on farmer whoever's fields, and now you're trying to play the big shot here, right? Give us the food, we're hungry. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were neighbors. You can spare a little extra, can't you?
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Cool. Is there any wishes for characters to play in the scene? I think there's a lot of possibilities here. Like I think I'd like to have Russet in the scene, and I'd like to have the quartermaster in the scene.
Okay.
But Jim, if you want, you can play the commander, or you can also play one of the Grinning Ravens.
I think one of the grinning ravens. This is not something that like the reason we have a quartermaster so that the commander doesn't have to deal with logistical bullshit like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested in seeing whichever one became a soldier. Possibly.
Yeah, who was?
That's Hannah Sherrill. She is the one who did something that got her promoted.
Oh, on that mission, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
and the other two that are left of the Grinning Ravens are siblings. They both have the same last name.
Awesome.
And our Sherrill.
So just to like frame this scene, I think you see like the camera pans over, like you see it like goes over the road, and you see like the carts with the Grinning Ravens coming, and you see like the gate, and the camera like goes over the gate, and you see like this crowd like has been assembled on the other side, and there's people trying to make the road and the gate clear so they can open it, and probably the camera like pans down, and you see the quartermaster like shoving their way through the people to get to the gate to like get the report of how the mission went. And probably at this point you don't know how it went, right? So how does the quartermaster look in this moment?
So the quartermaster in their description, he always looks tired. So probably that. So I think mostly he's just looking like frazzled, basically. And he doesn't like people. So he is kind of, I think, very, like, oh, gross, get away. Like, trying to, like, push through the people, and is... I think this mission is kind of, like, important to him, because otherwise he probably would have stayed in the tent and waited for someone to bring him the report. But he's like, what is going on? I need to go out and see. And I'm mad that I have to go out and see.
And Tempest is like coming straight towards him, but they're dragging one leg, so they have a slight limp, and I think they're pulling a battered and ripped up at the edges scroll out of their jacket pocket with like and like pressing it into the quartermaster's hands, and yeah, we got all of that.
I think he like opens the scroll and like just looks at it for a second, but keeps like looking at their leg and is like, well, yes, good. We can discuss this in the tent. We should, official business. But like, I think it's pretty clear that he's like, you need to sit down kind of thing.
Yeah, but Tempest is like, well, that, and we got more than we bargained for. And like behind us, like the cards were like being drawn by, and I think the last card has the dead bodies of the two Aldermarkian recruits on.
Can we say it's only got one of the bodies on it?
Yeah, only got one. Yeah.
But we're short two.
Oh, is that after the quartermaster sees the one body? That's where you chime in.
Oh, so am I present there? Like I got that. I mean, I got that promotion. Did we want to have it a thing where I'm present, or you call me in to like report on what happened? Here's my pitch for what happened, which is I got promoted because like the rookie that said, screw this, we're not gonna starve these people, and started to like walk off with supplies, or like started handing them out to people. I just shot him.
Okay. I think when we're returning now, maybe you're going to get recruited for this. That's probably time-wise where we are.
Yeah, or going to get promoted. Yes, yeah. So I'll have to. Yeah, but I'll definitely have to. Be like I'll have to report on what happened. So, I mean, actually, the other thing could be like if your leg's really hurt, I may be the person that like is like you're leaning on my shoulder, like I'm helping you limp in. That's the other thing that could be. I mean, depending on how hurt you are.
Yeah. Well. It's only level 1, so I'll be like,
okay.
It's
that's not so bad then, yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, but I think this is a thing where like if you're going into the quartermaster's tent, I'm like standing just outside. I think, because I know that I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
And like right now, I'm like, did I do the right thing? I don't know. It seemed like the right thing at the time, so I'm kind of like shuffling my feet nervously, sort of looking,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. And I think, but I do think Tempest gives you a solemn but reassuring nod. Hopefully, it's reassuring. Right, as a duck in after behind the quartermaster into his tent. Yeah, should all be there. We lost 2 though. Though we might have lost more if it weren't for Sherelle. Hannah Sherelle's the name of the recruit outside.
And I think you just like the camera just like closes up on Hannah. How does she look?
So she is not any of the 4 like regular cultures, right? She's local. She's Aldermani, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that she is okay. First of all, she is she's got whatever like the Legion rookie uniform, right? She is maybe a little older. She's like in her like like maybe early 40s, something like that. And she's not like a kid, like a teenager that you guys recruited, right? She is someone who and so she's got weathered face, gray hair kind of pulled back in a like in a like a bun or something, like a small bun, like salt and pepper hair, and she looks and like her jaw is kind of set, and she has this like look of like concern on her face, but she's not like she's not breaking down or crying or any of that kind of stuff. And she's just kind of standing there, like just waiting. Doesn't really know what's going to happen next, but is like concerned, but not freaking out.
Cool. And I think at that moment you hear like this voice calling you. Hannah,
yeah,
Hannah.
And you know what? And I think definitely she's going to have some blood kind of spattered across the front of her. Like if she shot somebody up close, then it's going to be, like she's got definitely some spatter on the front of her uniform there.
Yeah, and you hear someone from the crowd like crying your name, like Hannah, 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 you got something to spare?
And I just look at them and I say, go talk to the mayor. This isn't the mayor. This is the city should be taking care of you. Go talk to them.
And I think like you just hear how does the rest of you react to this, like Hannah saying this, because this is like I don't know what one would expect in a situation like this, but Hannah was just a rookie. And this is like people so it's a tough thing to do, right?
Who, me? You mean?
No, how does the rest of you react?
Oh, okay.
I think, because this is by like the command tents, right? So I think Quartermaster Albrecht hears the people yelling, and I think maybe originally he just thought that the people were there to like as like laborers, like to help like bring in supplies. And he's like, you let them follow you back to camp? How are we going to get rid of them?
And they're like, we're not getting anything from the mayor. There's nothing there. Can we join you or something? We can cook and, I don't know, clean for the soldiers. Anything.
And I point over at the marshal's tent and I say, recruitment happens over there. So, yeah, do what I did. Sign up. Make yourself useful.
And I think the camera like pans or like has a close up of the quartermaster's face. What is their expression saying?
I mean, I think he's kind of like impressed and sort of relieved. Again, like he doesn't like people, so he's like an assistant, someone to chase people away from me, and looks over at a Tempest and is like, "Where'd you get her? Is she new?"
Who isn't, right? No. If it weren't for Hannah, I wouldn't have brought back anything today. I'm gonna put in a recommendation for her. And the rest, well, and they look out over the refugees, right? It's like everyone's packing up in Plainsworth. It's finally sunk in what's coming for them all.
Yeah, and I think at that, like the camera goes up again, and you see like there's people going out of the gates on their feet with like nothing more than they can carry in a backpack. There's like this thin line of people who are just like starting to take their chance to go north, and I think that's seen.
Yeah, I like it.
Cool.
Nice. So, I like Hannah. It's exactly how I imagined her. Super good.
Yeah, it was nice to see Aldermani as well.
Yeah.
So that moves us into the campaign phase. So, Commander?
Yes.
You can...
Let me open my commander sheet here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So... Oh, wait. No. So that's Hanar. Close that.
Yeah, also, since last time, I'm gonna... I guess I'm not gonna say what moves the broken gut, but there's new weapons in their arsenal now that summer ended.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, so did we already advance up the road, or is that what we're doing right now?
No,
I thought we're advancing after.
Yeah,
time
we haven't
advanced
advanced
is the first thing we need to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always forget what we do at the end and what we do at the beginning.
Yeah, that's fine. We ended with XP, then did the back at camp scene now.
Got it. Okay, yeah.
Time.
Cool.
I also have it in front of me.
Add one tick when time passes or when you advance and roll pressure, and when missions have a time penalty.
So you add 1 to time and 1 to pressure.
Okay.
1 each. And then the quartermaster must spend 1 food to feed a legion, or the legion loses 2 morale.
Okay, spent a food.
And there's no tail for the lore keeper today. Also, I'm not going to take that away from them because that costs dearly. And then we have our campaign actions. And we had a little rule clarification there. There's a lot of rules in this game, so this time we are going to do our campaign actions as they were in sequence. So if you want to take liberty to hire the morale to get another action, you can do that.
Yes, I would like to do that, and I think the kind of the flavor for that one is we've had like 3 soldier promotions so far. And I think this is probably like their, like, after their like ceremony, there's like a little party. So it affects cadre, so it's boosted, I believe.
What does Liberty actually do? Just
Yeah,
because it's the first time we're doing it.
Yeah, we did it, I think, the first mission, because it's kind of like just easy to do, but it's been a while. So let me just find it on the sheet. So for Liberty, Legionnaires are given leave of their responsibilities for a few days. Good food and drink is provided, and campfire revelry is permitted. During this time, Legionnaires at Liberty can party, fraternize, and relax as they see fit. In the book, it's like they actually do it in turns, basically. Normally, every character clears up to 3 stress and increase the Legion morale by 2. But I think since it affects Cadre, it is boosted because he has stress, which means that Legionnaires clear all stress, and the morale is boosted by 4.
Nice.
Is that how boosted works? If you, it
yes,
then affects everybody, and morale is increased by 4. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And how much? All stress. So everybody, we're all back to 0.
Just the Legionnaires, though.
Legionnaires.
Okay. How do?
It says every character clears.
Who's not a Legionnaire?
Well, I guess everyone is a Legionnaire. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's true. It's true. You have a good point there. I was like, specialists, no.
Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So everybody clears all their stresses.
That gives you another campaign action.
Yep. And then
really good, this thing here.
So I was wondering about in the example, they were also asking questions about, like, to the commander about the next area to kind of anticipate what supplies they would need. So I wanted to ask if the commander knew anything about the next area we were going to, if it would be like hard to get food or anything like that.
I'm sure if like the entire camp is having leave for the day, there's like fires in the evening, and I'm sure the circle of the commanding circle also gets together to have some wine or something and talk about, like, looking further into the future. Does that sound cool?
Yeah, we can do it in character if you want.
Yeah.
Talk about what kind of assets I need for the next bit.
So where is this? Do you still do it in the command tent even if it's leave?
No.
We actually, so like is there a fire for, like, the officers? So we're kind of mixing a little bit.
Yeah, where does the commander like to party?
Yeah.
I also imagine a little bit like probably even when people are drinking, I think like the soldiers usually keep away from the officers a little bit. There is, I mean, the Legion is as a military unit right now actually a little bit flat, but still there is like this distance between people of command and the soldiers, especially when they are allowed to have time off, because they're like, I mean, finally we're getting away from the goddamn officers.
So we would, I mean, the way the commander likes to do it is the command tent is for business, right? Is not, we have meetings there, we do tactical planning, all that kind of stuff and everything. There's no drink allowed in the command tent. And anybody that's there, like, we don't play cards in the command tent. We don't like that is where real, serious stuff happens. But I think that we've got maybe like a wagon or something like that we can put or an open air table or something like that. And I think what we do is there's some kind of game that we all play that is like either like a long running card game or dominoes or something like that. And we drink and play and laugh and all that kind of stuff and everything on one end of the camp. And we're loud and boisterous, and the people can kind of come and watch and comment and like cheer for, or kibitz and cheer for different officers to throw down the 6 or whatever it is. But we are also very conspicuous in that we are in this part of the camp. And if people want to go and do stuff they're technically not supposed to do, but it's, but it's leave, then we're conspicuous about where we are and where they can go if they want to be where we are not going to notice them doing stuff. Nice. Right. Yeah. Does that all make sense? Does that sound like it's, yeah.
Yeah. Go get some recreational supplies from
exactly.
Dr. Boom.
Yeah. And we rely on the officers to make sure that nothing gets too out of hand. Mm-hmm. But when we're doing this, we are all having together, and this is the time where it's important to be seen that we also can experience actual human emotions and it's also and it's also important, I feel like, for us to play games together, because that is, we get to know how each other thinks. We can think a little bit about strategy when we're doing it and stuff like that. And also that is a situation where we learn to lose to each other. Mm-hmm. In a situation where the stakes are low. Yeah. Like borderline non-existent compared to what we're doing the rest of the time. But I think the commander takes everyone's obligation to participate and be seen to be having fun however they feel very seriously, which is sort of an oxymoron. That's a little bit of a contradiction in and of itself, but she insists that all of the officers participate in this, that they all be seen to be enjoying themselves, that they all treat it that the men see us, the soldiers, the legionnaires see us bonding in public as we're doing this.
Is this like a new tradition that only came up with Commander Danayevna, or is this something that was already well established? Is this signature of her? Is this?
I kind of like the idea that that this is something that this is the way the Legion's done it for a long time, and that she has and that she's actually fairly awkward at it.
Which is that's endearing. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah. That she's doing her best. And because and probably because she's terrible at whatever game it is the traditional. I really like dominoes. There's just something about dominoes, and they're laid out and you slam them down and stuff like this. And that is and you don't have to worry about them getting wet and all that kind of crap. You can just, and people can whittle them. Yeah. And if somebody hears that our 6 broke, they can whittle another one and give it to us as a, whatever. So yeah.
So just
some kind of dominoes variant. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just wondering if so the commander's new to her job. Is the marshal also new, or were they part of the old Legion?
I mean, the commander is not new in new to this job, right? Yeah. She's still a veteran. And
she's a veteran of the Legion.
Yeah.
But she just, after the big battle, she just took this job.
Yeah.
That's what I meant,
that's
I guess.
A good question.
Yeah.
So I think Marshal Alisha Manaber is Oh, I know. He was supposed to be, like, he kind of was retired already. So
he is too old for this shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Awesome.
What do you use in English when you say someone's, like, he was Marshal? What is it? Out of office? What's the when they had, like, the last rank they had, but then they retired?
Yeah.
There's
Yeah. I mean, retired is fine. Like, I mean, like, I guess if you're kind of trying to think of the like in kind of in perpetuity, the kind of honorary marshal, or something like that. That's yeah.
I was just wondering who would have been probably the one to like show the commander how to like play some of these games, maybe.
Yeah.
Because like Albert is so grumpy, and then now Manaver's too old for this shit, and then the lore keeper is a 100-year-old owl man.
Yeah, and everybody else is a recruit, almost, right? Yeah, they're trying to get those.
I kind of love the idea that like we are still like arguing about the rules, you know, and like, no, I thought that if you put a 6 it meant this. No, you know.
Those are Barton rules. Trash.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. I think that's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. That
we
like,
haven't been playing that variant for years.
Yeah.
All right. Make the best rules.
Yeah. And that, and I kind of love that there's like an Orite version of it and and a Panyard version of it and stuff like that. And that we're constantly like house ruling things and everything. And like, that's as much of the conversation is arguing about the actual like the game that we're playing as it is actually playing and stuff, which
and
is
the minimum bids
oh my God,
you have to make, and right.
Yeah. Because if you have grandparents who play cards, that's who play a lot of like gin rummy or something like that. That is half the fun of playing, is all of that table talk and negotiation that goes on. So
yeah. I have a little different question. Is maybe the camera like pans away from the commanding group, right? Because if the cadre is the key for these festivities actually like being boosted, how does that come about, right?
Oh, the cadre.
He's the party boy.
The cadre can drink, I think, is the answer. That he can like. Yeah, and that he is not only can he drink. I think the other thing is, I mean, we've established that like, he can drink, and he's because of the like. I love the crack shot thing. Yeah, like being that he is fantastically good at like stupid little like dexterity drinking games, right? Yeah. Like whatever the equivalent of like. Of literally like bouncing a shell casing, off of the table and into a beer mug or something like that. That he's just fantastic at those games, and so there's a whole thing of like people trying to beat him at, throwing darts backwards over your shoulder to hit the target and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and that he is very, very happy to be the center of attention with all that going on.
Like we've seen like that dark side that he has, but we've also seen him be very take kind of a mentorship role, right?
Yes, yeah, oh yeah.
So he does have this thing where he gets to be the gets the new recruits comfortable, or like between squads gets people comfortable with each other.
Like he is like the cadre is totally that guy at the frat who's like 35 right? And has been going to school for 15 years and is like, you know, like a different major every year kind of thing like that. And just kind of perpetual bachelor. I think no one's quite sure. I also think like he is just kind of, you know, ambiguously flirtatious and stuff like this. And, you know, without ever really, you know, settling down with anyone. So yeah, like he's like probably like if he keeps doing this another 4 or 5 years, it'll start to maybe just get a little weird and creepy, but he's still just young enough that it's like he's now like kind of life of the party kind of guy is how I picture that. Yeah. And I think he drinks a lot at these things.
Nice.
Cool. So how does the strategy discussion come up in these kind of situations?
Oh, yeah. There was a point to this one.
We got distracted by the party.
The party is the point. And I think that like the strategy discussion happens kind of when things are kind of winding down and the men have kind of like settled in and they're like the fires are low and people are kind of, you know, the serious drinkers are just drinking and the like laughing and singing has sort of subsided and some people have passed out and everything. And that's when we can kind of lean in and be a little more serious, even though we're outside of the command tent where like actual decisions get made. We can talk about it here.
Yeah, and we're like leaning back with nursing like a wooden cup of wine, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I think the quartermaster probably like starts it because he's pretty humorless and is like, so do we know what's next? I don't think the people of Plainsworth will have us for much longer.
No, it's time to move on. We've taken what we can here, and from the number of refugees that we see moving through, they're coming and they're coming soon, and it's time to go.
Do you know where?
The two roads, right? North or west?
I've lived in the north. I have no interest in returning. The reason I'm in the Legion is because it's because I hated the north. We'll be going to the Sunstrider camp. And from there, the Horned One is with us. She can guide us through the forest, and given what happened with the refugees and the fact that one of our soldiers had to shoot one of our other soldiers, we don't want, this is not something that we need to be mixing the families of our recruits up in.
And I think at just like this time, I think our new member of the Legion voice, like just like you see the camera, like the camera go focus on the back of the commander, and you see like his face and like the flicker of the flame, and he says, "Really, are we going into the forest? There's a reason people don't go there."
And who is this now?
The Kingfisher.
Oh, the Kingfisher. Yes, yeah. And I smirk at him and I say, yes, and the reason is that they don't have the living embodiment of a forest god accompanying them.
That is true. I'm not quite sure how she feels about us, though. I'm sure she'll be fine.
They don't. They also don't have the Kingfisher guarding them.
And I smirk at that. The commander kind of smirks and like looks at the Kingfisher, raises an eyebrow.
And I think he takes a deep breath and says, well, at least there's less people there.
That is also good. Do we know anything about Sunstrider camp? Do they have food or people?
They got horses, but you gotta ask Lady Saga for that. They're pretty fierce.
Fierce doesn't bother me.
Me neither.
Then we're in agreement. I'd rather contend with fierce than with desolate. And desolate is what the long road presents us with.
Yeah, I think the Kingfisher nods and says, well, it's not the camp I'm worried about. It's the forest. And I think he like turns around, but you're the commander. And he like walks away.
And I look at the marshal and I say, is he going to present a problem?
And I lean forward. I don't think so. Not used to command structures. But he knows where he's at now.
That rookie that he took a liking to, make sure that he's around him whenever he can be.
Yeah.
However you can arrange to have his duties cross his path, I think we're well served by that.
Agreed. If we do take the route north through the forest after Sunstrider camp, who knows what will happen before then, but that will mean parting with the refugee tracks. Which, if we are able to draw the broken with us, could be a blessing for them. Could also leave them completely unprotected. Something we ought to keep in mind.
Well, we'll flip that coin when the day comes.
Yeah. I'd say let's not talk about that plan too much with the others. People don't need to worry about the forest yet.
No, they need to worry about putting one foot in front of the other.
Right. And this was not like more aimed at like the rest of the group, and saying that like in lockstep with the commander, basically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Is there anyone who wants to add anything to that before we cut the scene?
Where is the Horned One during all of this revelry and celebration and kind of general goofing off?
I think they have not been seen for quite a few days. They said something about trying to find the path of Gerholtz into the forest.
Okay.
And maybe there's like this small flashback to a conversation between the Horned One and the commander, actually, where when they are taking this decision, maybe did the commander consult with the Horned One before taking this decision?
Nope.
So maybe it's the other way around. So I think like you didn't tell anyone, but the horned one is like comes over to you and says, "Well, since you decided to go through the forest, we need to find a path where I can. We need to find a path. Leading an army through this place is not going to be easy, but there is a way. I just have to find it."
I'll make whatever resources you need available.
They look at you, and you see like she looks up at you probably because she's pretty small, and says, well, I don't need your resources yet, but when we come to Sunstrider, I need someone to go and scout the route and find the entrance. It's a bit elusive. Gerholtz made it thousands of years ago to lead riders into the forest to hunt, but the people forgot about it. And I don't use roads. And I think as she says that, she like you see her like transforming into like this big eagle and like fly off.
And I say, and I kind of mutter under my breath, "We'll follow your tracks."
Cool. I think that's seen.
Nice.
Awesome.
So back to campaign actions, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I was worried we were going on the long road for some reason, so I was like, I need to get 600 food. But I guess we don't, so that's good. So for my second action, do people need a rest and recoup? I feel like we had 2 people that had harm, maybe? Kingfisher started with harm.
Yeah, but the Kingfisher ignores level 1 harm. Tempest, it's... Actually, it can be fun to play out. Let me just quickly check that I'm not running us into something bad here. Nope. That's okay. They can go with like level 1 harm on a mission. That's fine.
Just as a clarification, also in the forest, it's not easy to get food.
Okay.
Like there's asset rating 1 in the Sunstrider camp, asset rating 1 in the Stair Forest, and 0 in the Talcon Forest. You have advantage to getting horses in the camp though, because they are pretty much the Dothraki of this world.
Okay.
Dothraki, I guess is.
So basically, I'm gonna do another campaign action after this because I have 4 supply and we can only move with 3. So, it's just kind of like, if you guys want to rest and recuperation, or do you not? We can always do with more assets,
Yeah,
but it is
so
kind of like,
right now,
it's not sacrificing anything to do a rest and
how
recuperation.
much? If we do rest recuperate, how much does all harm go away, or how does that work?
So each Legionnaire marks a tick in the harm row, and then I have a Mercy fresh that can give 1 person an extra tick.
Okay. Yeah, then we can probably, if we want to be like, save that for another time.
So what can we do? Can we bang away at our grenade project instead? Or
I was kind of wondering about that because Paul leads it and he's not here, but I guess someone.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a hint here, Quartermaster. A very good place to look for things you should do for a long-term project is the end game, because there is a lot of things there that you can do that gives us points towards the final score. So, for example, you get +1 die for each siege weapon you have. You get +1 die if the Legion has both a Mercy and an Alchemist. So there's a lot of things there that gives you pointers towards those kind of things. So that.
Okay. I was thinking about if we could have a clock, a long-term project to look for an alchemist.
An alchemist is acquire an asset, I think.
Okay, I looked in the book. It seemed like it could be both, because they're like, I guess they're really, really hard to find because they're exceptional quality. So it's like you could kind of like, if you want to make sure you get one, you can take a while to make it a long-term project.
Then you make a long-term project, yes.
Yeah, but like for just acquire asset, I guess they're like, there's not really anywhere that has them. It seemed like, or Mercies, the same thing.
No, you can do it, but you have to crit to get one of exceptional quality. So I might give you one that has already some corruption, for example, or already some harm if it's a mercy. If you have less.
Okay.
But a long-term, it's just a 4 o'clock still.
Okay. So yeah, I want to try and get an alchemist. I'm sorry, would that be a long-term or should that be acquire assets?
It can be both. It depends. If you want to be sure you're going to get an exceptional one, then it's a long-term project. If not, you can also take your chances with acquiring an asset.
You want input?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I would say like take your chances. Like just like let's get one that's bad. That's cool too.
Yeah, be friends with Dr. Boom. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
And right now, like there's so many refugees, like we might like pick someone out, or also like any of us can play Dr. Boom, right? Like we said, we are not precious about that kind of, or we want to share the ownership of characters in a way. So.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do an acquire assets to try and find an alchemist.
Yeah.
It's probably because Dr. Boom came to you.
It's like, I need help. I can't keep doing it by myself.
Like maybe with like, I need someone with very specific knowledge.
Okay. What is the location's asset rating?
It is 2.
Okay.
So it's the best you're gonna have for quite a while.
Cool.
That's a 6.
We get them?
Does this game have a way to boost rolls after the fact? I don't remember.
Yeah, you can use another supply if you want to boost it.
Because then it becomes a crit.
Yeah.
Just pointing that out.
Okay, yeah. Like I said, I have to spend a supply anyway. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got that extra supply. That's a great way to spend it. Yeah.
That gives you an alchemist. You can also feel free to give them a name. They're gonna probably be married with corruption and have a horrid time.
But for now, they're okay?
Yeah, they have no corruption.
Nice.
So why they get corruption is because Blighter has corrupted the art of alchemy, and when they became broken, and so everyone who practices alchemy gets corruption.
Oh, we should have told that, Paul.
Yeah, we'll see.
He'll find out soon enough.
Okay, I'll just say, now that we're down to 3, I'll just save.
Cool.
I'm sure actually he knows, right? I mean, as a brewer, that is basically alchemy.
Yeah, we don't have. Fortunately, the beer god is not become broken in our world.
Yeah.
That means we have come to advancing the Legion, because we are right.
We sure are.
Then you roll pressure. First, I guess the quartermaster can spend horses to lower pressure if they want.
Yeah. Pressure is at, what is pressure at? It's at 2 right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you guys think? I have a couple of horses, and I'll probably look for more once we get to the horse place. But they're used for like a lot of stuff. So.
Okay, so when you advance, roll pressure minus horses uses spent, and add time below.
Yeah,
right?
That's still separate. So you just roll the push the pressure button minus. I mean, and you can subtract for the amount of horses that the quartermaster spends.
We want to spend at least 1 horse so that because like if we spend at least 1 horse, there's no way to crit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if we spend 2, then we're taking the lower of the 2 dice that we roll.
I mean, but we're doing we're doing a recon, so
we're going to do recon next, yeah.
And I think I have to spend horses on that too.
Okay, so can we spend 1 for this?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll lower pressure to 1, which means we can't crit, which is where I want it. Like, because a crit means we put 5 ticks on the clock, and that's bad, super bad news. That's like we'd say it was fun, everybody.
I would also argue. I don't know how your resources look in general, but spending more on the secondary missions is often a lot more helpful, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can't for the primary, that's usually okay.
Yeah.
Usually.
So we spent 1, so I'm going to go ahead and roll pressure here, which is at 1. Bonus dice, there's none. I just submitted. And it's a 5. Which is not great, but that adds 2 time ticks.
It's not a 6.
But it's not a 6, and it's not a crit. Yeah, So, yeah. All right, so there we go.
Cool. Yeah.
We've got there's a time clock in the top left of the map, is that correct?
Yeah, I just haven't updated it, so... I was going to, but then there's so yeah, then we are in Sunstrider Camp. So I'm gonna Sunstrider Camp was once like a bustling trading post for plains folk and pilgrims traveling west and those heading north. So but now it's choked with refugees from the surrounding areas. As you are moving towards it, you're hearing news from people that has traveled faster than you from the south, that the south has fallen and Plainsword is overrun, and there's probably you probably pass also a lot of refugees on the way. The permanent structures in the camp is pretty much like a winter camp for the biggest horse clans on the plains. There is just like a wooden wall, and there's mostly tents around, but there's also these kind of mounds that they have, like they live in, that are like structures with, I mean, I imagine a bit of like hobbit caves on a flat plain, and there's, as you approach the city, you see like there's horses and riders like coming in and out pretty constantly as you like slowly advance towards it. And we'll just we won't do any like free play scenes in Sunstrider yet. We'll just assemble our engagement roll. I think probably this is in the fiction, is that the people who are going on the missions, they aren't even going into some sort of camp before they leave for the missions. And our primary mission this time is a recon mission called Operation Western Fire. And this is pretty much what I described to the commander that the Horned One talked about. The Horned One has already tried to, or like left to scout to find the path of Gerholtz. Gerholtz is one of the gods of Olomani, the hunter god, and it's rumored that there is like this ancient path where he used to lead riders from the plain in to hunt in the forests. But of course, nobody really thought that existed. But it turns out that the Horned One says it is, and that you're going to go find it. So that's the mission: to find a route to go to the forest, and then also to find the entrance to this path.
Sweet.
I have also already drawn up a little bit on the map here. You heard rumors also from the people who has passed you, probably like single riders, someone from the south, like people from the south who had horses, who were lucky enough to have that and left, who have been traveling pretty quickly, since they're just like one or two of them maybe, saying that they saw the undead army split, one going more northwards and one going towards Sunstrider Camp right behind you. So that's how it looks right now. You don't know which force is led by which broken, since you don't have any intel.
So, that's what the arrows indicate.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
We can ask 0 level questions, right?
You can if you want. Yeah.
And just to be clear about the fiction, this is this intel mission is about actually going like on like multiple days riding north from this camp up, like basically up to here, and start searching for Geralt's path.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What I have done is there's 3 stages to this mission. There's one that scout the route up there. There is to I don't think you need to find the path actually, because the Horned One has, but they have left you to find out how to kind of like activate it or whatever it is that you have to. I mean, no idea. There's just trees there, but they say the path is there. So that's something you have to figure out.
We still need to find it in the sense like where the Horned One wants us to go, and make sure that is a path for the Legion, that the Legion can actually get to, and how to get there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's to get back through the enemy lines, because there's going to be you have the advantage of speed right now, but when you're there, probably when you have to go back, there is already the front of the army there.
I mean,
so
yeah.
In terms of the engagement roll here, if you have a good one, you might skip the whole first part and just find yourself at the forest edge. But if not, I'm going to put you in a very bad position before that. That's probably going to be engagement with or a risk at getting entangled with bandits, or perhaps also people going in front of the main force of the undead.
Undead Vanguard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're going to assemble the engagement roll, and then we're going to go for a break.
Cool. Okay. So, well, we're going to send the squad that uses horses. So we're going to send the Shattered Lions. And now the interesting question is, I think this is indeed a job for the cadre. Would it not be? How good is the cadre on a horse? I just want to check fictionally how we feel about that. Or is it?
Yeah, because it doesn't matter, right? Whether they're like there isn't like a riding skill or anything like that. The cadre is an aristocrat. I think he's perfect, and he did a shit ton of hunting. We've established he is a hunter, right?
Yeah.
That his favorite thing was just riding off and going duck hunting and stuff like that. I think he's very comfortable on a horse.
Yeah.
I also probably think that the secondary mission here, the assault mission of the powerful undead, is probably to cut off the vanguard.
Yeah, that completely makes sense. Sure, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you want to ask your zero intel question, this is probably a good time.
True. Before I make my final decision on who to send.
Yeah, let me see. Gather information. Here's commander. Okay. Intel questions. Hang on, sorry. Let's find where the questions are. If I hold 0 or more intel, ask one of the following questions. So this is the searching for the intel, right? This is searching for the route.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have we kind of know how much travel we can expect, I guess.
Yeah, you kind of do.
What are two approaches we could use here?
Basically, I guess there's two. You could go for. Just to make sure I'm answering the thing that you're curious about? Are you talking about what kind of problem are you talking about?
The key is to find this route and not get cut off. And so that means we got to balance between how hard are we looking and how hard are we trying to make sure that we're, kind of staying out of the. You know what? Let me narrow it down. What would be a useful item to bring on this mission?
A reliquary of Gerholt's.
Oh yeah. Okay. That completely makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, use that to help guide us. Yeah, I think I'm glad I asked that question.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's do the engagement roll.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the cadre and Russet as the scout specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And with the Shattered Lions.
And for the Chosen Storm, who are you sending? The assault mission?
For the assault mission? Oh, yeah. To strike, I think I'm going to send Val with her Ember Wolves. And I'm actually also going to send Aurora and Emilio. So all three. It's a really...
we can send the king. Can we send the Kingfisher?
So here's the thing. He does have the thing where it says ignore wound penalties, but I don't know if this counts for engagement rolls. And you don't want to send a wounded legionnaire on an assault mission because that gives you -1 die.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So
okay, then
there.
yeah.
And
we want to heal him up then. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
and that's why I'm throwing the other ones in there, so we get
Yeah,
most out
makes
of
sense to
our
me.
healing action next
Yes,
time.
yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
If this roll is bad, but also like they all get XP.
Yeah. Yes. Yep. Nope. Good call.
That's
Yeah. Kingfish is already leveled up, so yeah, that's good.
Cool. Also, we just need one more dead for another Annals of the Legions for Paul next time. So
Yeah.
Yep.
We're pulling for him.
Okay. So it's going to be the engagement roll for the primary mission, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is Legion loyalty. All in the mission also sworn to the Legion? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 1 die. Did the commander spend 1 intel to give you foresight and info? I don't think we have it.
Nope.
Right?
We've got 0. Yeah. That's sort of the point, is to the reason we're doing this is to get that.
Is everyone on the mission a specialist or soldier? We're going to all be playing those, but we'll also have recruits on it. There's no distrust in the leadership, right? Oh, who am I going to give it to? I think I'm going to give Russet is going to be the one who's basically taking the lead.
Makes sense.
We've got the required specialists on there, and now the question about recon missions. Did the quartermaster spend horses to equip the mission?
Yes.
Okay, so let's
Take some horses.
2 dice. And then, we need to decide on load. Because as any legionnaire starting with heavy load, we would take -1 die. But we're not going to, right? We can think about what load we're going to take. So 2 dice. Primary mission, 2 dice. Make sure everybody can see the roll.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay. I have something to think about during the break.
Yeah. Quick thing before we go to break probably is let's see the cadre once again played by Jim. And Joel, will you take Tempest and play?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes.
Then I'll play Jamil, the cavalry.
Okay.
Cool. Well, then we'll be on a 10-minute break, and we'll be back to see how desperate this position is going to be. Pretty desperate, I think.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
And we're back in a terrible situation.
Well,
But first,
did we do the load stuff? And
yeah,
is someone taking the reliquary? Because I'm not. Because I'm just a mundane soldier, so I don't think I should be having it.
If I take normal loadout for Russet, I get a fine reliquary, which sounds like if it's gonna be like the reliquary like of Geralt, that sounds like a fine reliquary to me, like of the dude.
of the god. That's cool.
So yeah, big dude, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just gods being dudes.
Awesome. What load are the rest of you in?
So Jamil Turek, we haven't seen him really before. But first of all, very important, his special ability is cavalry. If the quartermaster has horses uses available, all members of your squad start missions with mounts. And you gain +1 die to maneuver while mounted. I gain it, I guess. Not everyone, I assume. But that means the whole squad is on horses, and we're riding up north. And I'm going normal load, which means I actually get to pick 4 utility items. So I'm bringing supplies, my soldier kit, a pistol and ammo next to my fine heavy weapon, which I think for him is a lance. Like he's really someone who, if his father were still alive, would probably make him very proud. Alas, he isn't. He has the traits warm and educated. Barton.
Cool. And you have a normal load, Russet?
Yeah, I'm taking a normal load so we can have that fine reliquary.
Yeah, it's a long trip, so it kind of makes sense, I think.
I feel like a climbing kit is also always useful.
Yeah.
You never know.
It's true. How about the cadre?
Well, the cadre is going to go normal load. And I'm kind of up in the air about, like, and I think, honestly, the cadre's not bringing his rifle. Like, this seems like something where pistols are more appropriate, pardon me, to the mission that we're on.
Maybe we'll finally see the cadre in a desperate situation.
This is not a thing where he's going to be sitting up in a tree, long range, shooting at stuff. So I've got normal load. I've taken 2 fine pistols instead of rifle. I normally get 3 black shot. I get 5 ammo, fine armor, gun maintenance kit. And I think I will take a hand weapon. Which in the cadre's case is like just a, like a whatever, like a dagger, like something he would use for, dispatching a goose that he had only winged or something like that. And I think, what's the other one? Do I want more ammo, or should I bring some supplies? Cadre's going to bring supplies.
Yeah, it's probably makes.
We expect this is we're talking about riding for a while. This might take a few days and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The risk that I might run out of tobacco is pretty severe. So bring some supplies along. So I've got a hand weapon and supplies as my utility kit.
Cool. Okay, so I'm gonna frame the scene. you have been riding for you're on the second day of riding when and you're probably like about halfway there. While you have been, do you ride during the night or during the day, Commander? Or who is commanding here? Actually, it's Russet, right?
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Is there a specific time that undead usually move? Are they less active during the day or anything like that?
No, they can. They don't sleep, so that's the advantage of being undead. But I mean, if there is Black Oak Knights, I mean, you don't know though which troops that are coming this direction. So, but no, not really.
I mean, this is still horse country, so I assume it's wide plains. So it's probably good to see people if something is coming. Like they'd be able to see us.
Yeah, so might as well ride in the day, I think.
Yeah.
Because we would just have to use torches and stuff at night anyway. So.
Cool. Yeah. I think. I mean, it is plains. I think you're. But you. I think you actually probably arrive at like the area where it's a bit less of that here. As this happens. So you had a pretty like nice and fast ride. The weather is not very nice. It's raining. It's a little bit windy. But luckily you had the wind at your back. So I mean, this probably doesn't matter that much in terms of speed when you're riding on horses, but it definitely matters in terms of like morale. There's nothing worse than riding against the wind when it's cold and rainy. We probably like see the starting shot probably is like from above, as you see like the squad riding in formation, and you see like the big plains behind you, and as you the camera like turns around, you see in the distance you see like the forest. It's still I mean, it's very flat, so you can see very far to each side here, and you have seen some you've seen like the probably the vanguard of the force in the distance, but they're still far enough away from you that they probably don't see you. You see them because it's a massive amount of undead, and you're just a couple of riders in the day, right? So, but as you come up to this more this less flat area, I think the starting shot is that as we like pan over, you see like this hooded figure like behind, like stretching their bow, and the arrow flies. And who's riding in the front?
It's probably Tempest, right?
Is it
So.
Jamil?
Oh, it might be because
because
they're the actual
I'm the
like,
actual
cavalry person.
Yeah, making like the leading thing about the squad, right? You're making the decisions, but I'm like doing the execution, kind of first mate stuff on a ship or something like that. So
okay. Yes.
Actually, yeah. Then I'm definitely at the front.
You go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, and I think like you see the arrow just like you notice it just like a half a second before it hits you right in the throat. You take 3 harm, and as it hits, you see like riders coming out, coming around like this big like it's more like small hills, more like just tops, and they come like riding around. There's 6 of them. Riding towards you. What do you do?
Yeah. So the arrow flies and sorry.
Can you resist the harm?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've I've got fine armor. So I'm going to use that. So I think this is this is actually shoulder tolerance. And there's like this motion. So it pulls up the armored pauldron in front of my throat and makes the arrow glance off. So if it's fine armor, does that reduce it by 2 steps instead of 1 step? I'm not actually sure if fine armor does anything in this sense. Usually it armor is armor. So I
think it reduces the scale difference. I'm just going to say, because I'm going to say what is non-fiction, as in what's happening
it's just
here.
One. So I would, yeah.
The person who's shooting an arrow at you is a lieutenant of the Black Oak Knights again.
Okay, so
different one.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It also says it provides 1 armor against physical attacks, not 2 or anything. So that's fine.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
So I'm using that. But I'm also I'm trying to be quick about it and pull up my shoulder, right, to get it in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to reduce that so it actually only becomes a level 1 harm. I guess is that prowess?
Yeah.
Reaction speed?
Yeah, and I think as you assemble the role, I'm just going to describe this person a little bit.
Yeah.
So you see, like, as you, because you resist this, well, I assume by the look of your face there. You see this person, like, there's a raven-haired woman, and you see her like in all black clothes, and you see her on her chest is a leather armor with the Black Oak Knight symbol, and I think also you recognize that the tree on this one also is black, just as the one on the banner that changed into black when it's got cursed. And you just like hear her mumbling to herself, "God damn it, that was a hit. Render will not be pleased." And I am making you aware that there is a clock here. It's an 8 clock, and it's called Render Arrives.
Well, I think what we see with the squad is Jamil crying out, right? Like pulling up his shoulder, then crying out. The arrow glances off, and I think when he looks back and turns around, you all see like he's got like this bloody streak across his face. So I've got level 1 harm. This might come in like, so level 1 harm can mean less effect for, I don't know, perceiving stuff. Maybe it's like blood running into his eyes, who knows, later on. So that's where it might apply. Yeah.
So what do you do? There's
I want to see the others react to this, because it doesn't look pretty. It'll leave a scar. That's definitely the case.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't feel like Tempest is the kind to like want to turn around and fight. They're probably like, we gotta go right now.
Also, describe to me how Tempest looks at this moment, because we haven't seen them much on screen either.
Yeah, so Tempest is Panyar, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
They have kind of short, dark hair with little like wispy bits, and a face tattoo that covers most of the top half of their face with two kind of half circles and then a smaller dot. They wear a lot of earth tones, especially probably now that we're expecting to go into the forest. And like emotionally speaking, just seeing how like I don't think Tempest has come back from a mission like unharmed. So I don't think that like seeing the soldier with like blood all over their face like bothers them at all. I think they're probably concerned about the situation. But like they're already like expecting the soldier to be able to like go like just get over it and like we need to just get out of this and you can whine about it later if that's what you have to do.
I think Jamil like wheels his horse around, right? And we gotta keep moving. And where to? With blood running down his face.
Yeah, and the cadre like sees that and what are they? They're like coming out of the trees or something like that. Where are they coming from?
There's like these there's like these it's not hills, like it's more like big mounds, like just mini hills, green, like mini green mountains in the on the plains that are coming around. So they were like hiding behind there, and on the arrow from the lieutenant, they rode to meet you.
The cadre, I think, sees that, sees them coming out, like makes an exasperated sigh, mutters, "Yes, you did tell me so," to one of the ghosts that is riding along with him, and looks over at Tempest. Is there any kind of cover that we can run towards? Is there like a copse of trees or anything like that or anything?
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could lead a scout roll to perhaps see if there was somewhere we could run off to.
Yeah, so I'm gonna describe how it looks here. So if you also see on the map, mm-hmm. There is like a lot of these small hills, or like I don't know what's a good name for them. So if you would only get past them, there is. I mean, you could try to find a good path with Scout, but there's also. I mean, there's lots of things you could do here. But fictionally speaking, that's how it looks. So you could either like run past, or you could, I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. I mean, you're on horse, right? So.
Yeah, I think for Tempest leading the role, I think Scout would be the way. But
what is Tempest doing?
I think they're just kind of like really focused on trying to find the path through the hills. Like they're Panyar, so I think part of them is like, if I can just get to the trees, I can lose them. I know I can. Mm-hmm. Like, and even if I can't, like if I gotta go, then I'd rather like do it out there than out on the dirt here. But like,
yeah.
Yeah, I think they're very focused on trying to
that's
leap
also
through these hills.
you're running like instead of trying to just brute force outrun them, you're running into the area with the hills to kind of like lose them with confusion instead.
Yeah.
Awesome. So this seems to me like a group action.
Yes.
With Scout.
Mm-hmm.
I believe this is a desperate situation still. You see another arrow gets put on Senya's bow. She is called the Sable Arrow. And you see like this time she takes like a she takes it and like licks it, and you see her tongue is black, and you see like it's like it sizzles on the arrow tip as she like takes her bow, and it's like this huge I imagine like this huge like composite bow. It's incredible like this woman is strong enough to take it all out, but definitely yeah, she's done this before.
So, can we just quickly? Why is it a group action for Scout?
Pursuit. I mean,
I assume that I was leading people through, like I was scouting the way for people to go behind me.
I mean, I'm not protesting against it. I'm just trying to get the sense of what we're doing as a group. We're all like following blindly Tempest. Is Tempest calling for us to follow them, or what's this? How's this going down? That's kind of why I'm asking, right?
Yeah. I think what was the soldier's name?
Jamil.
I think Jamil is like, we have to move, and Tempest is like, you're right, and pulls up their horse to the front and is going to try and like pick out a way through the hills, hoping that it's kind of like it would be a tougher ride than across the plains, so maybe it would be harder to follow us. But
I want to do something.
Okay.
if that's all right, because as the rest are like, I think as I'm turning my horse, I'm like, and that is that exchange. I'm galloping past all the others towards the back, and like I'm just yelling at them. Follow Tempest, right? And like maybe like even giving one of the horses behind a slap as I'm riding past, and I'm like pulling my lance out, and that's like a fine lance. I think it's like glistening heavy weapon. I'm like just I want to draw the fire. That's what I'm like, I want to dare her basically to take the next shot at me too. Yeah.
Seems like a setup action to me. Or what do you think? Or is it an assist?
It could be an assist with like, obviously, if you feel like she's easily goaded into that, if you don't want me to roll for goading her into shooting at me, then it's an assist, right? Because I'm like providing like some distraction or something like that.
I mean, for me, both are fine. It depends a bit what you want. Like, you can do the most awesome and crazy things with assists. It's a John Harper trick.
Yeah.
It depends on what you want.
I think it's an assist because it creates the confusion of what are they doing. Like the one that has been leading them is like unholstering his lance and pointing that up, right? That like, are they seriously considering making a charge? No, but then I'm just rounding, and that's maybe like a split second. That gives Tempest more time to be like, okay, to assess this situation. That's where we need to go. So it's an assist, I think.
Cool. I think you would just like see the smash cut back to the bow, and you see like that she snarls with her teeth, like, and like you see the last like few centimeters up before she loosens it. Tempest.
Okay. So
when can I get to do something?
You're in
Is this a
the
group action
group,
or
you're in the group action, no?
I don't know. I don't understand what's happening here right now.
You can say what you're doing while this is happening, and then we figure out what that is, if that's it.
I think regardless, it has to be a group so I can bring the rookies with me. So you can do whatever you want.
Okay. So the thing I don't let me just make sure I understand what's going on. The thing I don't necessarily understand about group actions is when someone says it's a group action, that doesn't mean then we're all rolling on it. We decide whether we're going to participate or not.
So it's if we all sneak across the courtyard, then it's a group action because we're all doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And we all have to pick the same action. I'm obviously not doing the same thing. I'm not looking for a way. If we're all just following Tempest, then it's just, I don't think that's a role, right?
Okay. So the thing that I wasn't necessarily clear about was the group action is not to get away; it's to find the place to go, right?
Well,
like that's what Tempest is doing right now.
Maybe
it's figuring out where we're going to go.
Yeah.
That was not how I understood it, but if that is, then it's probably not a group action. Because if it is finding the way,
how much? Yeah, the question is how much span do we want to cover here?
Yeah, I was hoping to move since Scout says that you can use it to like
to
move as well. So I was just thinking it would probably be better to get moving, but I guess it could also be a scout to find the way and then a maneuver later or something. But I thought I could just do it in one.
No, then would make sense. If you want to stay with the group, then it's a scout for you as well, Jim.
So, but I have my covering fire thing where I can grant potency to someone else's action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can do that. And while Russet takes the rookies away.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, no, and if so, that's kind of cool. So if who's got the lance that's drawing fire?
That's me, Jamil.
So like if Jamil wheels left as Tempest like leads the scouts down the middle, I'll wheel right and guns out, reins in my teeth, right? And just like
True
empty both of my revolvers in her direction. Not particularly trying to hit anything necessarily, just trying to get her to like have to think about it and maybe put her head down. So that this and if she's got to look away for a second when the scouts can, find their way around a hill or something like that, maybe that'll help. So this is my cover fire. If you set someone up with shoot or provide covering fire, they gain potency on their next action. So I'm going to give the scout roll potency.
Okay. So then my position is desperate, but does that it makes my effect go up. Potency.
Yes.
Okay, so it goes.
It's great.
To great.
And do I have to spend ammo to do that, or does ammo only happen when we actually?
It's fine. You can.
Okay, cool.
Okay, and then I had an assist, so that's 1 bonus dice, I believe.
Yes.
Okay. And I kind of feel like I should push myself.
Do you get what do we get? What do we get bonuses for doing on horseback for this? Is that only maneuver, or is this something that you get a being on a horse bonus?
That's only what I get.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's only applies to me.
I mean, fictionally, I could have given it to you if they were also not on horseback, but they are.
Yeah.
Okay, this seems pretty important, so I think I'm gonna push myself for another die. Even though I have 3 scout, I've rolled poorly in the past.
I mean, 5 dice.
We'll see. For great effect, though, so I want to get away. Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
That you had that last die there, because it's the last die that made it.
There we go. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I the first game with Val, I rolled like 6 die or something, and rolled like every single one was a 2. So I'm like, never again.
I mean, that's great. Except the cadre and Jamil are now in a very shitty position.
I mean, that's a problem for
us
future
now.
me. Yeah.
Also, you don't get any stress because the rookies also carry their load. So
Okay,
you see the the rookies and Russet like disappear into behind one of the mounds, while you two are, I guess, distracting and using covering fire. And I think this at this moment, what do you do? You see the Black Oak Knights coming closer. There's one arrow whistling just past you, Jamil, and you see another arrow get drawn. You notice she's not gonna miss twice.
No, she won't.
She on her
So if they fled that way, I'm going to ride perpendicular. So they need to make a decision: do they chase me, or do they chase after the main squad? And I think I do throw like a look over my shoulder at what the cadre is doing, but yeah, the cadre wheeled the other direction, so I don't know what's going to be happening there. And I just want to try to ride as hard and as zigzaggy as possible, right? To not make a good target.
What are you doing meanwhile, cadre?
Is she on her own, or does she have like a squad with her?
The squad is gone. Russet took the squad with them.
Sorry, the lady with the what was
Senja, yeah. There's some Black Oak Knights charging towards you.
Got it. Yeah. I'm going to just like put the spurs to my horse, and tuck myself down along its body and just bolt. And again, so like they went up the middle, he wheeled left, I'm going off that way. So they're gonna have to make some decisions about that, like we said.
Cool. So what do you to think this role is? Are you doing this together as a distraction, or are you doing each of your own? Because
I think we're on our own. So
Yeah.
I think I'm maneuvering to not get shot. That's what I want to roll for.
yeah,
I guess I'm kind of determining that she's shooting at me, and then that they're, I don't know, that's your decision what the other folks are doing.
yeah. And I had a get out clock, which was actually for like leaving, but I guess it's now for getting out of this situation, which is half filled.
I mean, what is my position and effect here? Not starting. I guess it's pretty shitty. It's probably still desperate because being hit.
It's desperate, yes. And here you're at less scale. So I think
You did
limited.
say she's not going to miss twice, which makes it sound like I have no effect.
Yeah, actually, let's see that.
Yeah. So,
Desperate, no effect.
yeah, I'm going to spend my grit here. And yeah, it's like I'm pushing my horse and I'm pushing myself, and it's like I'm like yanking the reins, and the horse has to like zigzag, and there's like even like an impossible situation where I'm pulling it almost up like a slope that's too steep. So it actually has to take a jump if it doesn't want to crash into the ground, right? Maybe I won't get shot, but maybe I'm going to fly off my horse. Who knows? We'll see. Oh no, I can't. Wait a second. I cannot spend my grit. That's not how this works. I'm just going... It's a push. Just a normal push with stress.
For
But
effect.
I'm pushing the situation, right? I'm pushing it to limited. Instead of giving myself a die here.
Yeah.
And I think that is actually all I can do at this point. Except maybe... pray to the horned one under my breath.
Yeah.
All right, so desperate, limited. I get one bonus die because I'm mounted.
All right. Yeah, you do.
So I have 2 dice to throw at this.
Man, you made it sound like.
So could I spend a stress to help?
I think you're in your own desperate situation, and I already rolled. Sorry, I didn't.
Okay,
I wasn't patient enough for asking. I was thinking we're separated. Yeah, we'll see.
So you were just trying to not get hit here. Is that your goal of this maneuver?
Yeah.
Or are you escaping?
I mean, it is for escaping, right? But my goal was not to get hit. Yeah, that's what I said. The intent was not to get hit by an arrow. Maybe I'm not escaping, so I'm not adding anything to the clock. That makes sense. Yeah, but it's only just limited, so I'm probably getting.
I mean, I was just kind of like trying to establish what your primary objective here is, because you're gonna succeed at that because you got a 4.
Yeah.
But I mean, you're gonna get a serious consequence. So that's either that you're a serious complication. I will say getting caught by these riders.
I mean,
or you're getting hit by this arrow.
No, I'm definitely getting hit because I only get limited, right? Like I'm not getting a throw to the arrow hit something less because it's limited, so I don't get my full intent either. And I get a consequence.
Okay, cool. So I think that what happens is that, like, you see the arrow. I think the camera follows the arrow through the air.
Yeah.
And it like thunks you in your back. And you see there's like the what does your armor look like, actually? Because you have a custom armor, don't you? The special armor.
It's fine armor, yeah. It's a combination of, like, we got the nice pauldrons, but then it is actually for cavalry mobility, a lot of chainmail, or so more chainmail than actual plate or anything. Like, I'm not in heavy load, so I'm not wearing plate armor here. So I think and over that, it's obviously because we're traveling. It's traveling clothes. So a lot of like more brown colors.
So I think what happens here is that you manage to, like, your maneuver manages to do kind of what you want, and the arrow doesn't hurt you physically, but you see, like, the as it hits the armor, is it a leather armor or something like that?
It's clothes and underneath.
Cloth, yeah. Padded.
Yeah.
So you see, like, it hits it, and you see, like, it fizzles, and it like the black thing that was on the arrow, it like it kind of burns a hole into your armor, and you take 4 corruption.
4 corruption.
She's a lieutenant.
Ouch.
Scale 4.
I mean, this is the limited effect, right? So this is not something I can resist. I can resist whatever other consequence you're gonna throw at me, though.
Yeah, and you probably scream, because this is also it's a different kind of pain. Like, it's not physical pain, but you feel like in your head, your worst nightmare is like hitting you right there for a moment. And you see like that your maneuver has also slowed you down a little bit, and the Black Oak Knights are catching up, coming around you. What? Meanwhile, before you resist here, are you going to resist?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is the I already started to describe that last ditch attempt, like, where I'm like, I feel that that pain ripping at my soul more than my body, and there's just a moment where, like, see them close in, and that's when I rip my horse around and make it, like, do this jump up the way too steep slope, right? So it, like, actually, like, there's like this moment where it's like actually sliding back down and has to take another leap to get up the steep slope of a part of a hill here.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? What do you think?
I think probably, I don't know, prowess.
Yeah. So it could be. It could also
It could be
resolve. It could also be
resolve.
insight. Your choice. What do you think?
I mean, I guess it's kind of cool to see something that's not prowess. I'm gonna say resolve, actually.
Yeah. It's to keep my mind actually paying attention to what happens around me.
And, not panicking.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not gone from then, but they haven't encircled me. That's kind of that's what I'm resisting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Okay, that's 1 stress.
What is the cadre doing? You see this happening, like, this is not happening right now, but you see it's about to happen. This is like what you're doing in parallel a little bit.
Yeah, so, like, the whole point is that we have split off from the main group, and we now our job is to get away and get back to the main group. So when I said the cadre just, like, puts the spurs to his horse, tucks his head down, and just hauls ass, I'm not jerking around with, like, zigzagging or any of that crap, you know. And also, she's shooting at him, so, you know, So I'm just putting. I just want to put distance between me and them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think actually this is it's still desperate. You're not that far apart yet, but I think the effect here is a little better because I think it's limited from the start because they are much more than you, so they have an advantage there in terms of like scale. But yeah, that's it. It's desperate limited.
So I've got maneuver of 1, so I'll push for sure.
Push for effect or want to push for dice?
Well, let me ask the folks who are. Let me ask our expert, our forged expert.
What position are you at?
Desperate.
Desperate. Okay. So what you could do is push for effect and ask for Devil's Bargain for an additional die.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. What's my Devil's Bargain?
I can have a Devil's Bargain that. There is a few good ones here. I'm gonna say. We're gonna see at the end of the episode what Render's plan is, and it will come to fulfillment, whatever you do.
So is there otherwise a clock on this, or?
No, that's the beauty about Devil's Bargains. Like with consequences, he has to be super clear, so we know if we want to spend stress to resist. Devil's Bargains, he can be like a vague bastard.
Yeah. I'm gonna pass on that.
That sounded very bad.
I'm gonna pass on that. Yeah.
Not a good bargain, perhaps. Very devil, not much bargain.
Well, so I'll take my chances on 1 die, and I'll spend the stress for effect. Is that what I want to do, Matthias? Does that sounds like it's it?
Yeah, to get you to, because you were limited effect, right? Or
yeah.
To get you to normal. Okay. Normal gets you then your full intent if you do it.
Standard effect. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. So here we go. Rolling desperate. Oh, I'm gonna start by marking that experience point in prowess. There we go. And then I'll roll maneuver. Position. Risky. So funny. Desperate. Effect standard. Bonus dice 0. Oh yeah. There we go.
Okay, so you try to like get your horse up to speed, but they have like a way speed advantage on you as they are already charging, and one of them, and you see he rides like up besides you, one on the one side and one on the other side, and I think like you see they both like take their spears and like throws them at you, and I think there's 2 consequences here because this is desperate, so I can pile on. One of them hits the horse, and you get simultaneously like thrown over as the other spear hits you in the back. Okay. And you take 3 harm. 4 harm.
Yeah, so I'm going to resist that.
Which one? Your horse dying or...
I don't... Okay.
There's 2 consequences, so you can resist...
You can
both of them if you want, but you're going to...
Both, even, if you want to.
But you have to roll twice.
And you have to do something in the fiction to do both, yeah.
Yes, okay, all right. Yeah, so like I think I have to resist both, right? Like if my horse goes down, I'm in deep trouble.
I mean, and 4 harm 4 is death.
Yes, yeah. Harm 4 just kills me. Yeah, sure. So, all right. So, yeah, I will resist.
But you've got armor, right? Do you have?
I do have armor. Yeah. Yes, I do have armor. Yeah. I've got fine armor. Okay, so this may kill me anyways. Just like if I get too much stress and because I've already accumulated a trauma, so we'll see how this goes. This may be where I die, because I think that can happen anyways, right? You can just die because you stress out into trauma, right? Yeah. So
you took trauma out, yeah. So you, basically.
Yeah. So actually, hang on just a second here.
So technically, just to clarify a little bit, since you have an armor, you can survive this without resisting the harm, but you will have 3 harm.
That means you need help. You're still close to die. So you can use
like
armor and resist it to get it down to 2, level 2 harm.
Yeah, because that still incapacitates me, right? Yeah. Yeah, like if I had 3, I'd still be incapacitated. Yeah, right.
Yeah, but you could still be on your horse or whatever. I mean, if you got out of there is. But yeah, it's not a good situation either way. But it's just.
Yeah. So I think can I? So do I have to decide all at once, or can we, or do I play it in order?
No, you can resist one at a time. That's fine by me.
Yeah. So okay. Let me start by resisting my horse getting killed. Because if my horse gets killed, like if my horse is still alive and I've got 3, maybe my horse can carry me out of there. But I'm going to start by resisting my horse getting killed. And I'm going to, like, what I do there is, like I said, head down, I'm coming up. I see the 2 of them coming up. And that guy on the left coming up, he's got his spear out. He's going to jam it into my horse, into my horse. And I just we're close enough that I think I can probably just put my pistol like right against the side of his horse and pull the trigger. Don't know whether it's not to incapacitate his horse or anything like that. It may even just the sound of it causes his horse to shy away or something like that. So I'm going to use shoot to resist. So that's prowess.
Insight probably, actually, because it's aim. No.
Oh yeah. Shoot is under prowess, but insight's under aim. So yeah. That's aim is under insight. So yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'd rather roll insight because I get 3 for that. So, so I just click insight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bonus dice none. Oh, there's a 6. Yeah.
There's still hope. So you probably, I mean, you probably don't quite hit them because they don't take harm, but the bullet like flies right across their face.
I just want to spook that horse enough that he swerves away, that the spear goes, goes off, right?
Awesome.
Yeah, and then that one that they're gonna, and then I think like if that shot causes the other horse to veer in that direction, I just yank the reins to the left and just kind of follow along with it from the guy that's trying to stab me to see if I can. Although like the armor is going to take it. I mean, I'm going to get hit, but let's hopefully not run through. So I take 4 harm.
Mm-hmm.
My armor knocks off 1 of that. Is that how that works?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm resisting 3 harm, or no, I resist 1 more harm, and then I'm going to take 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is how that's going to work, right? Okay, cool. So that gives me just a little room so that I'm hopefully going to get like stabbed instead of run all the way through. Is what I'm looking for. And I think this is prowess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maneuver. trying to get myself out of the way here. So let me roll that. 0 bonus dice. That's a 3. So I'm going to take 3 stress from that.
That is close.
There is, and I've got 2 harm, right?
Mm-hmm.
Level 2 harm, which is what? Stabbed by spear. I'm gonna say, but what is that? Guts bleeding. There we go. That's it.
Cool. Well, oof. Who said it's not so important about these spending resources on the primary mission?
Harsh. I don't think anyone said that. I think someone said sometimes, depending on circumstances, if your resources are limited, maybe spending it on the secondary mission might be more helpful. I don't think they said primary mission.
I mean, stress.
Anybody said that?
Stress is
We
a
did spend the
resource
horses,
too.
though.
Yeah, and stress is a resource too, right?
Yes.
Fair.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna put that mercy to work.
I'm
we get back
gonna let you, Russet, have a chance to assist one of these now, since you're kind of out. So feel free to like position you in a way that you can do that.
No,
Yeah, I was wondering, like,
go.
I can't. Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I know.
I think
I've got
I'm
a way
getting too
out.
far away.
I've got a way out. I have an idea how I'm gonna get out of this.
Mm-hmm.
But I won't help in the mission anymore if I do that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Seems like a devil's bargain for yourself here, maybe.
yeah, well, or if I trauma out, then I'm like maybe wandering the steps and getting back to camp some days later.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I don't know. Maybe here's a thing. Maybe can we have like it's a really quick flashback, and I don't think it costs much. Because we could have talked about this in the first days on the road, to say, if things go south, what do we do? And we sit together and say, Tempest, you're the scout, you know how, take it and get the mission done. If someone gets split, they're on their own. Maybe that's what we said as a squad. How does that sound? To justify why we as players do the mind telepathy right now.
Yeah.
Seems like
I
a zero
mean-
stress one.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. Like, I have, like, fine maps and compasses and all of that. So, like, if it's going to be one person, like, getting away to do the thing, like, fictionally, I think I would be the one that would know, like, where to go, because the maps have, like, notations on them. So, like, I know the special tree that has the marking on it and whatever, theoretically. And you, so... Yeah, I mean, like...
You're also spiritually the most clued into the Horned One out of us three, I think.
Yeah. So... I mean, I don't think that Russet would, like, undo the move that I just did to go back and assist. Really. No. Unfortunately. Like, I don't think there's really anything I can do without, like, going back.
Full at
That's
4 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what I wanted. I would just want to keep going.
Cool. I think actually, like, if what we're saying here is that you two, you don't, that was your plan all along, that you're going to like split up and let Russet do the rest of the mission. I'm fine with just like keeping the rest off screen, and that you get away, and that those 3 pies that are not filled up is you two in the fiction using your time to get away on your own. So we see like probably from like the bird's eye view again, like you two splitting off and running in each of your direction on the horse with these Black Oak Knights after. You're probably gonna have a grueling night of chase ahead of you. But we'll see you both back at camp in this condition that you are now. Meanwhile, we see the rookies and Russet going towards the forest. And it takes like it takes more like a half a day more to get there. You come there in the probably it's already late. You've been riding for like quite a bit. The horses are exhausted. And you see what is the call sign that the horned one put there, Jim?
Oh, what do you mean, like the symbol that you're looking for on the tree there?
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is? It is a have you guys ever seen a tree that like a buck has like sharpened its antlers on? So like it's like these like scrape marks, like horizontal scrape marks where like the bark has been scraped off like down to the down to the wood.
Mm-hmm.
It's that, except it's like 9 feet up the tree. So it's like a place you would never think to look for like an animal sharpening its antlers. Mm-hmm. But it's like in that spot, but that's it. But it's like unmistakable. Like this is not a thing that could occur naturally. But it's also not a thing that you would like notice unless you were looking for it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you know how to look for that, right, Russet? That's so you see like there's like this. I mean, it's these huge old trees. It's an old forest, and it doesn't seem like there is a path here. But the horn one has marked these trees, so there must be something here. What does Russet do to kind of? I mean, this is a good place to maybe introduce some pannier stuff or something. Maybe this is something that's more normal in like in pannier culture. Does Russet do something to like find out? Is there some spiritual stuff here, or what's going on? Do you just look for it? Is it hidden behind a tree, or I mean, I'm just giving all the narrative control here to you and to how this path is revealed to you.
Okay. Do we have any more information about the person that made the path? Were they Panyar also?
They were not actually. Okay. They are Gerholts. They are Aldermani god. One of the twin gods of Aldermark, Gerholtz, and there's he's the hunter god, and then there's also his brother who's a smith god, but I don't remember his name right now. Matjar.
Okay, so it could be a Panyar thing, but it could also be like an Aldermani thing. I'm wondering if maybe it's kind of part of like just listening to the forest sort of and trying to like find differences between like what they can hear and what they can see. Like if there was a hidden path, if I hear like a bird tweeting from where I can see a tree, then I might think like, okay, that tree isn't actually there, or something like that.
Cool. What role? What action rating are you using here? What skill? And I think if you're okay with it, since we are a bit on time here, I'm gonna let this be our ride or die, one roll thing. If you do it, you do it. If you don't,
Okay. I was thinking scout for spot weaknesses or exploits, so like weaknesses in the illusion of the path.
seems good to me. So this is, I think also this is a desperate situation. Why it is this is because there is a clock with, I think I'm gonna say, because we kind of turbocharge this, is that if you fail here, the mission is going to fail because render's arriving, so you can't really stay there and look.
That makes sense. Okay.
Are you pushing for die here, or you want the devil's bargain perhaps?
Can I hear the devil's bargain?
Sure. I think so. Let's see. Russets. Also, for the rest of you, feel free, if you have a devil's bargain, you can also chime in here.
Sure.
I know you got one, Matthias. You're always thinking of the most evil things.
Well, if render's going to show up, then they're going to know we found something.
I want to reincorporate something. I want to reincorporate that this makes sense for you to get an extra die for, is you have to use up Gerholt's reliquary here. But not just that, you also have to do it in a very gruesome way, by self-inflicting harm and mixing it with your own blood.
Okay.
And like take level 2 harm or something for that. But that will set something free from Gerhold that will like make the path open for you much easier. But it's like I don't know, like what is it? I don't know. We don't know what the do we have an idea what it might be? This reliquary of his.
I think it's like a tip of an arrow, because his like signature thing is that he hunts with a bow.
Yeah, maybe you have to cut yourself, and each cut like makes your senses flare up more and seeing his path. But it doesn't help like doing it once. You have to like that's how like you have like an arm full of scratches afterwards and a lot of blood loss, and it's level 2 on blood loss or something like that. First, Mikael, does that sound okay to you?
Yeah,
because you have to
that seems serious enough close to me.
Okay, and would this be the last one of the mission phase?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna take it then.
No pressure, just a mission on stake.
I know. Well, also just kind of thinking about how like Matthias was playing them in the past, I think that they would do it.
Yeah, they're one for sacrificing.
Like when we found anthracite with like all that nasty stuff, and they were like, I guess I'll just eat this. Like literally eat this infection. Okay, so is that for a bonus die or changing the effect?
Bonus die. Okay. You don't need the effect here because it's like one roll.
Okay. So I will push myself, and then another for the devil's bargain.
You can't both push yourself and have a devil's bargain.
Oh.
If you have stress to push yourself, you don't even need to take the devil's bargain.
It's true.
Oh. Okay, I'll just push myself then.
Yeah, that's
All
true.
right.
Very easy decision, really.
Okay.
I mean,
Uh,
okay, let's get it over with.
okay.
You could push yourself for great effect and stuff like that, and get something extra.
I thought I couldn't.
It's a 4.
Okay.
You do it. So
Mikkel just said there was no effect. That effect doesn't enter into it.
nah.
Yeah, I thought
you can
it was
always
just a
negotiate
passer.
shit.
A pass or fail
Yeah,
situation.
it's a pass or fail situation. But if you want to get something extra, like I don't know, the roll happened, so we don't need to talk
That's
about
done.
it. It's
Done, done, done,
hypothetical.
done.
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
you do it, but there's a consequence. Also, mark XP.
Yeah, I think I want to start a clock on something for this. If this because this is the last roll and you succeeded, and I think that the consequence here.
This is about Blender. No.
Blender.
Blender.
Yeah, I think it is about render.
Render.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So render has. I'm gonna put a clock that is burn the forest down, and it's gonna be a 6 tick clock.
Can I resist that?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
How though?
I'm trying to think.
I know.
What do you think? Tell me.
You've got a
Tell
thing.
me to play this
You've
game
got a
today.
you've got a thing as a scout. Your special ability stuff.
Yeah, the scrounge.
Yeah, you can spend that to avoid detection.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was thinking because it sounded like the thing would be that they like knew we were here, sort of. So yeah, I was wondering about.
To give context, the reason why this is happening is because Render has a rivalry with the Horned One. He pretty much like hates him, and his like grand scheme is to burn the forest down to piss him off and make the Horned One his dog. So it's not really about. I guess it's about like if Render knows that the Horned One is going into the forest, then they will burn the forest down. So if you avoid detection, that is a way you could resist it, yes.
Okay. Yes. I would like to do that. I would like to spend a use of scrounge.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you do something to the trees with the markings on them too. Once you found them, because Render would probably be able to recognize those markings and know to look for them. Well, other mortals might, like normal mortals might not.
Cool. So that leaves us with a finished mission. So I know we're past time here. So is there anyone who needs to immediately run?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Cool. So then we can just what I'm gonna do is just finish up the secondary mission and do XP, and then we'll start the same place that we did this time.
Yeah.
Next round. So you succeeded the mission at some cost.
Yeah.
But nobody died, so.
It was close.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do secondary mission first, right? Before we then we can do all the reward stuff in one go. Okay, secondary mission was an assault, and it was Val, Emilio, and Aurora going on that assault, trying to like assault the Vanguard. Right, that's what we said. One, because everyone's loyal. We didn't spend any intel. It's not everyone, so it's all 1 and 4 assault. Did the quartermaster equip the soldiers with black shot?
Yeah, I think I did that before the break. But yeah, go for it.
So that's 2. No one is wounded from them, so it's 2 dice. Yeah. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Yes. A 6 is always it's hard enough, right? You succeed at the mission. All specialists take level 1 harm, and you may choose to lose 2 squad members to promote a rookie to soldier. Yeah, which I'm doing.
Well, yeah.
It's an assault. People die. I think it just makes sense.
You also get +3 morale for that mission, so
we can stomach 2 soldiers dying because we are, yeah.
And now Paul gets to tell a story.
Exactly. So something for everyone.
Yeah. It's just win-win all around, except for those guys.
Everything turned out great, except for those dead rookies.
The game makes you be a terrible person.
It doesn't make you.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Matthias just hates rookies.
And this was who was this?
The Amber Wolves.
Amber Wolves. Who dies? Oh man, this is a squad we have seen a bit on screen. Yeah, quite a bit.
Yeah, it's Val's squad.
Yeah, I think Viscount Cyprian Loprio dies.
No, the Viscountess. No, what? Oh, bastard.
I mean, this is hard, right?
Yeah, she'll never talk about curtains again.
Yeah. Yeah, have some sense.
It was curtains for her.
And I guess
Oh no.
Severina One Eye, she didn't see a blow coming.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
Are you promoting Meaty?
I'm promoting Azure.
Yeah, I like Sir. It was the one with which animal trait Val would have.
Yeah. I want to see Meaty get tough. But there's plenty of time for that.
Yeah, I mean, she probably survived because she was holding down like the supplies at the back of the assault, right? Because who's gonna put her in the front ranks of an assault? At least at this point. Yeah. So what does that do in terms of rewards?
So the rewards you get is +3 intel for the first mission.
Okay, hang on just a sec. Let me pop open my commander sheet here. Intel 1, 2, 3. All right.
And you get +3 morale. I guess you also lose 2 morale, so that's for the 2 deaths. So +1 combined.
So we go from 7 to 8. That's nice.
You already went up during the...
Yeah, we were at 10. Because we went from 6 to 8 to 10 with the boosted Liberty, I think. No, 7. We went from
Liberty.
7 to 9 to 10, I guess, if it caps at 10.
Yeah, it does.
I didn't realize Liberty gave us that boost.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still at 10.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, that's the rewards. just get your XP. You wanna guide through, Marshall?
Yep. So, for our primary mission, Jamil, desperate actions I had in maneuver. 1 XP for surviving the mission. If you helped your squad through courage or determination, I think so. Right? If you brought into play your heritage or trauma, we saw, like I described the heritage early on and the whole Lance thing, and him actually being, like, his father not being alive anymore. So that's 3. What's the highest threat of our opponent faced?
It's 4.
4.
Wow, that's 7.
Well, you avoided the 5 XP there.
Yeah, we should have actually...
Didn't think about that.
Yeah. I'm gonna put 5 of those into prowess and 2 into playbook. So, and it just makes sense to give him another point in maneuver.
Yeah. So actually, just like a little tidbit here for leveling up strategies. So for rookies, of course, we already found out that you have to level up the first time to a soldier. But when you become a soldier, what you have to kind of start looking for is which kind of specialist do I want this soldier to become? And then, because in order to promote to a specialist, you need to have the starting attributes of the specialist class. That's also why it's very difficult to become a medic, because they have a lot of skill points at the start.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. I didn't know that.
It would be cool if we could get one that was an actual doctor. And not a doctor, like Dr. Boom. Who is my favorite character, probably, but...
Yes.
How about the other 2? Your XP.
I can go?
Yeah.
So, I marked 2 desperate actions and insight. I think that was right. And then I survived the mission. Helped the squad through stealth or foresight. I think kind of sneaking away was stealthy, perhaps. Like, we took the quiet route while the other 2 were loud. If I brought into play my heritage or trauma,
you definitely did with your Panyar stuff.
Yeah, just did a lot of Panyar stuff. And then threat of opponent faced, which was 4.
Mm-hmm.
So that is also 7.
And the cadre.
Mark 1 if you survived, which I did. If you help your squad through keen observation or key shots, I provided that covering fire that helped the scouts get away. So I feel like that. So we got 2 of those. If you brought into play your heritage or trauma, I mean, I talked about the ghosts that are haunting me and stuff like that.
You did?
Had a little conversation with them. So I feel like, so that's 4 so far, right? 1, 2, 2 and 2 is 4. Per highest threat of opponent face, that's another 4. So I got a total of 8.
Yes.
Which is actually, that fills a special ability wheel all the way around. So I'm just going to go ahead and add another special ability to him, I think, is what I'm going to do. Oh, or do I want to do prowess?
That seems like perhaps there's 2 abilities that are very relevant for Cadre right now, which is Hardened or Survivor. So we don't see them from out.
Oh, Survivor, you can take additional trauma. I'm gonna mark Survivor for him. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, because that was a that was a close call. Yeah. That was. He's going to be telling stories about that when he gets back home. When he arrives at the camp with just blood down the flanks of his horse on both sides because he's like holding his guts in with one hand as he rides. That's a nasty bleeding wound that I got there. So, all right. Yep. So I took Survivor for the additional trauma.
Cool. That's all our XP. So next time we're going to start with another back at camp scene, and Paul is going back to a story about the legions. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
I'm going to be so happy. So yeah, let's do our outros. If there's any plugs, now is the time to say them. I am Mikael. This is my channel. This was an awesome episode. This is the only thing that is on my channel, but maybe I think possibly in the medium to not very far future is coming more there. You can follow what I'm up to at my Twitter. So keep your eyes peeled there. That's about it for what I'm doing. You want to go next, Jim? I'm sure you have better plugs than me.
Yeah, please. So like I said at the top of the program here, I sell games for a living. I sell indie games. I expect that I'm probably going to sell a whole lot of this very game that we played this evening, this weekend at this con that I'm at. So you can find me online on Twitter at Jim Likes Games, just like it sounds, spell it just like it sounds, where I mostly tweet about gaming and, maybe a little bit about being a vegetarian and pictures of my cats and stuff like that. But it's mostly about gaming. And you can run into me at conventions all up and down the East Coast and the Midwest, east of the Mississippi, where you will look for a big red sign that says Jim Likes Games. And I've got a website, jimlikesgames.com, where you can check out my little recap podcast Just Played and buy games from me to help me support doing stuff like this, including a bunch of games I run on the Gauntlet. Which is where I met Mikhail, and I'm very glad to be a part of this. So we're looking forward to our game in. We're on tap again next week, I think, right? Yeah, cool. All right, looking forward to that.
It's gonna be fun. You want to go next, Joel?
Yeah. So I'm Joel Van Dyne. This is all I stream right now. Maybe more in the future as well, but probably not the medium future, like Mikhail, probably the far future. Things to plug: my adventure, A Place to Call Home, on the DM's Guild is 2 units away from a bronze medal. And I would cry so many tears of joy if I could have that little fake picture next to it. So
go get it.
Yeah. If people are interested in a tier 1 adventure for with special consideration for new players and especially new DMs, pick that up. It's got doppelgangers and blueberry muffins and everything else you could possibly want. So, yeah, that's it. Mateus?
Yeah, hi. You can find me at mthsblgr on Twitter. And I'm going to plug, so maybe, who knows, right? Maybe you know German or you are German. There's currently a crowdfunding going on for the translation of Lovecraft-esque. I'm gonna throw that link into the chat. So check.
It's a great game.
Yeah. So if you want to learn German by playing indie horror games, I guess that might be an avenue to take too. It's on gameontabletop.com. So if you're watching this on YouTube and search for Lovecraft-esque there, find it.
Awesome. That's it for us this week, folks. Hope to see you again next week. I hope you enjoyed the watching us game and suffer. Bye.
Bye.